hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take great spoil. Did you come to take the nations? Where are you going to take the nation? What is your purpose? What do you want out of this activity? He says, therefore, son of man, prophesy and say to Gog, say to Russia, thus saith the Lord God, in that day when my people of Israel dwell safely, thou shalt not know it, and thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts. He further nailed it, didn't he? Thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, flying in Cobra jets. Cobra helicopters and fighter jets, and a great company and a mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people Israel as a cloud to cover the land. And then it shall be in the latter days. You hear me again? You see it? Latter days. This is a term separated, set apart. It's for a whole nother period of time to end the days.
I like the way it specifies the uttermost parts of the north.
Yeah.
At any point, there's been no other point in history where the uttermost parts of the north have ever came against Israel.
That's right. Never have been any other point in history. Well said. And thou shalt come up against my people Israel as a cloud to cover the land, and it shall be in the latter days. And I will bring thee against my land. I will bring thee. You've been wanting it. I'm going to let you come. It's always been in your heart, so I'm going to bring you. Look at them laying here in safety. Drop their guards. And you want this? You want Israel? Then come and get it. And they all flying all over the mountains and hills. They just losing their mind. They just rushing in. God said, come down, I'm coming to get it. And what happened? Latter times, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me. God got a purpose for what he's doing. All the nations of the world are going to know God. It's one of the reasons for the book of Revelation. You going to know God? You ignore God all this time on this planet? Oh, you're going to know me. One way or the other. I offered my son during the Gentile age. And I extended the gospel until the ends of the earth. And you defied me. Now come on, bring it. Because I'm going to make an end of you. See? Oh, the Lamb of Jesus. God wouldn't kill nobody. God, you better not mess with God. God will kill you. Flat out. I don't even know who these preachers be talking about. I'm like, you obviously didn't read the book. There was a man, his ark almost fell off of one of the poles, and one good Samaritan man ran over and went to grab the Ark of the Covenant. God killed him on the spot. You don't come touching this. You'll come all up in my space any kind of way. How you going to be invading my privacy? All up in my peace. You in my mix. I ain't say touch that. I know how to. I can send an angel down to grab that. You beat the angel to it. I kill you. What were you going to hope to be extra pious? What were you doing me a favor? You don't do me no favors. You do what I say. I done dressed these priests up and told them how they approach and handle this thing, and you just gonna come any kind of way, huh? I don't think so. There was men, they would bring strange fire. God said, who like that, lit that up? Where that fire come from? I had the kind of fire I want. You're gonna come up over here with, what? I would come over there and, you ever. God got it to where he wanted. See, when we begin to understand that, then we begin to humble ourselves to God. Tell him, I don't want to preach those kind of words. Joel, you better preach those kind of words. Let me tell you something. You better preach the whole oracle of God. You don't get to be, you know, that day just a little too hard. I mean, you know, people, they had a hard time at work this week. What? I ain't never heard a preacher get to say, I'm gonna choose pieces of this. I mean, no wonder they're getting bad interpretations, because as we have seen, they don't take no rocket science. We just follow the verses. Little homework on who God is and all this other kind of stuff, and tracing that back to territories and things. And, you know, hey, what's why God make you do some stuff so you don't get totally lazy? I mean, so you can feel fulfilled in the whole experience. But you can't just be, you know, I'm going to break off God piece right there. God, we don't want the people of Russia to get offended. We just want to go and we're going to omit that. No! Leave it there. Because God needs to know. England needs to know. Russia needs to know. America needs to know. The Arab nations need to know. God said they will know me when I shall be sanctified. When I shall be set apart in thee, O God, before their eyes. Now, that was laying the foundation for the book of Revelations. And I'm going to close with this. You say, well, Dad, we only read a couple verses in the book of Revelation. Well, you know, all I know is I tried. I read those first few verses and it started talking about, let's see what it said. You know, what am I to do? I'm just a servant of the Most High God. And he the one started it. He said, look, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave to him to show unto his servants things which must swiftly, shortly come to pass. And I had to show you, did God show his servants this? Okay? He, right out of the bat, he sent me to other books and stuff. So don't blame me. I'm just a little old humble theologian. I'm just doing what I said, what God tell me to do. Yeah, I had to prove to you. Did he signify that these times were going to come shortly? And did not Matthew send you to Daniel? And didn't Daniel send you here? And didn't Daniel send you to Ezekiel? Huh? And didn't Ezekiel talk about these last days? Now we can come back here. I can prove you just one more piece. And he says, and he signified it by his angels unto his servant John, who bear record of the word and of the testimony of Jesus Christ. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things that are written therein. And now, it is really necessary sometimes that we get a foundation. Because, I tell you, I'm just going to give you this, and I'm going to close this thing out, because I sat here and said, how in the world can I start talking about Revelations and the vision of Christ standing in the middle of the church, and the golden candlesticks, and the seven churches of Asia, and his message. And guess what? This is chapter 1 through 4 I'm giving you right now, so you can get prepared, and then we'll get into the rest. This is chapter 1 through 3, actually. And basically, Jesus is presenting himself to John on the island of Patmos. And he's saying, and he gives a very powerful illustration of himself standing in the midst of the church. And we didn't see a weak